Hey, what's up guys? Henry the Blasian here, and today we are going to be talking about which opening night cards are worth it and which ones are just absolutely not worth it.
But I'm ballin'. I came from nothing to something like it's nothing. Yeah, you know I done it. That is no discussion, bitch. I'm ballin'.
Alright, so with these opening night packs, the first one we're going to start off with is this Dennis Scott. He is a 78 overall gold small forward, and when we take a look at his stats, he isn't bad. He doesn't really have a driving layup. He's got a nice mid-range, and he's got a really nice 3, but he doesn't really have too good of defense. And now the reason I don't think this card is that much worth it is basically because of the stats we're looking at right now. It doesn't really have the driving dunk. His speed is just absolutely horrible. This guy is meant for catching and shooting, but if you really want a more budget version of this card for the cheap, I'm going to compare him to a card right here. This is who you should be picking up, Thabo Sefolosha. This is the gold one, and the emerald one is in these packs, which we're going to talk about as well. You can see that, sure, he doesn't have the same driving layup, and his shooting is just barely under. He's got the 91 mid-range, 84, 89, 3, 84, but the thing about Thabo is that he can also play on the defensive end. Look at the defense compared to this gold card, and at the same time, he's got the decent speed. He has better defense. I just think this Dennis Scott is not worth it for at least what are you paying for the average 2,500. So my verdict on this card is that he is just not worth it. Up next is this Larry Hughes, and he is a shooting guard. Now the reason I think this Larry Hughes is worth it is that he is actually going for a really cheap price for what he is, a gold card, and his stats are actually really nice. He's got a really good driving layup. He's got a mid-range, he's got a 3-ball, and to make it even nicer, he's got defense. Not all cards usually have that when they're a gold card. You can see that he's got a 94 steal, so do not sleep on this card. I think this card is eventually going to go up in price. He's actually got really decent speed. He's not a dunking guy, he's a shooter, and he's a really good two-way player. So if you guys are looking to add a budget shooting guard to your team, Larry Hughes is definitely the move. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to this Emerald Thabo Sefolosha, and this is one of the cards I think is being slept on the most. This card is an absolute beast. We're going to go ahead and quickly take a look at his stats. His average price, you can see that he's going for, is 3,500, and he hasn't even been sold yet. But we'll take a look at his stats here. We'll compare him to another Emerald card. We'll say Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward looks like they have similar stats so far, nothing too crazy. Thabo's got the draw foul. Thabo's got the shooting as well. He doesn't really have the passing, but neither did that gold card. His free throw is not that crazy, but on the defensive end, again, Thabo Sefolosha is an absolute beast, and to make it even better, he has speed in this one, unlike his gold card. You can see that it's an absolute big change. I think this card should actually be higher than an Emerald. I think it's honestly lower, and look at that driving dunk and contact dunk. 90 driving dunk and an 85 contact dunk with Thabo Sefolosha. This guy is going to be catching bodies. It's going to be crazy, sorry. Let's go ahead and compare him to his gold card. Now, when you look at his gold card, you can see that his driving layup changed. His draw foul went up a ton. His defense hasn't changed too much, but you can see that the speed aspect and everything down here. Look at the attribute changes. Plus 45 to his contact dunk, plus 15 to his driving dunk. His speed goes up by almost 20. His acceleration goes up by 21. Speed will ball by 20. Vertical for 12. And this is an Emerald card for going for 3,500, so why would you go and pick up this gold one for almost 3K when you can get for 500 more a card that has way better stats? But my verdict on Thabo Sefolosha is that you guys should absolutely go pick him up. This card is a budget beast. On to the next one, Vince Carter. A hyped up card. His Sapphire card going for like 100K, but this Vince Carter, in my opinion, is not worth it. The reason being, sure, he's got a decent driving layup. Sure, he's got a not so decent shot. The mid-range is a little suspect. The 3-ball is alright. The Vince Carter is nice because he does have hot zones everywhere. But the one thing I look forward to doing when I have a Vince Carter card is dunking. And when I saw the dunking, I mean, sure, it was really nice, but he didn't even have the tendencies for it. The tendencies are only an 80, and those might be trustworthy, but I just do not think that this Vince Carter is worth the amount of MT he's going for. You can see that he's going for 15 to 20K MT. You can find cards that have just as good of a dunking capability going for the same amount of MT, and he's very much a liability on defense. I just don't think he's a very good defensive card, as you can see. He's fairly average. Scottie Pippen right here is way better than this card. This card is an absolute sleeper. I will be talking about him in a hidden gem video. You can see Scotty's got the fadeaway, decent driving layup, the shooting, and he's got the defense for sure. So this card is an absolute beast. I just do not think that Vince Carter is worth it though. But that is my opinion. What you guys choose to do with your MT, sorry, is all your choice. Up next, we're on to Kevin Durant. Now, this Kevin Durant, he's actually going for about 6.5 to 7K on average. I mean, these are all high ones, but you can find for about 7.5K, because there's one for 7 right there. But I think this card is worth the pickup. And I know you guys might be thinking, why would you think this is worth the pickup and don't think Vince Carter is worth it? You guys look at Kevin Durant's stats, you see that they're nothing too crazy. He's got a decent mid-range, not much of a 3. His defense is obviously pretty suspect, nothing out of the ordinary. We're not going to compare him to... We'll compare him to Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward, you can see, but he's got decent driving dunk, average speed. So why is it that I say that this card is worth picking up? For starters, it's Kevin Durant. What is Kevin Durant? What does me saying it's Kevin Durant mean? It means that Kevin Durant has disgusting animations. I don't know if you guys have played with a Sapphire card or have gone against up that Sapphire card, but it's stupid. That card can, for whatever reason, finish at the rim almost every single time because he gets blessed with these animations. And this Kevin Durant is much more athletic. It's a younger version of Durant. Doesn't have the shooting, but has the athleticism. And I'll show you his driving dunk tendency is a 90, shot tendency being a 97. So these are all things he can do. This Durant is an absolute monster. He's got a really good mid-range. If you play the mid-range game, stick a shoe on him. He's just an absolute beast. And he's only going for 6K. Good thing about Kevin Durant is he can play the 3 and the 4 as well. An absolute cheese card just for his animations. Reasons I think Kevin Durant is absolutely worth a pickup, especially if you get him for 6.5 to 7. You've got a good pickup on your team for that price. I'm most likely going to pick him up if I can find a snipe right here, to be honest. Let's see if we can get one real quick. And yeah, no, there's no sniping going on. Oh, 69 isn't bad, but we're going to go on to the next one. And that is the most hyped of all the emeralds, the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. Now, this card, I don't even have to talk about it. I know you guys are going to be like, it's Michael Jordan, blah, blah, blah. But we all know this card isn't worth it. The only reason he's going for this much is the fact that it's Michael Jordan and you guys want a Michael Jordan on your team. But there's hell no way that I would ever spend 30K on an emerald. You guys must be crazy if you think I'm going to spend 30K on an emerald card. Sure, his overalls there look nice, 85 offensive, 91 defensive. His defense is absolute claps. This card is basically a Tony Allen that can dunk. He literally has like no offense, but he's got the defense. Now let's take a look at him. You see that he's got an 85 driving layup. That's cool. No post fadeaway game because this is rookie Michael Jordan we're talking about. His mid-range game is hella below average at a 70. His 3-ball, you might as well pray when you hook that stuff up. His ball control is nice so he can speed boost. This is probably what people are going to be running at point guard with a 5-out. Oh wait, just kidding, 5-out's been cancelled. Another video I'm going to talk about. Hell yeah, he's got a really nice free throw though. His passing is alright, but his defense is where he excels. His defense is really good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that should be the reason that you choose to pick up this card. Sure, he's got the nice driving dunk, but the contact dunk of a 35 means he's not exactly going to be catching bodies. He does have the driving dunk tendency and flashy dunk tendency. For those of you that are wondering, here's some of his tendencies as well. But I don't think that this card is worth it. He's super fast, but I just don't think he has the offense. If you leave this man open at the perimeter, you're just not going to hit much. It's just how it is. He doesn't have a mid-range. Other than driving in the basket, this card is not going to be very great, and his draw foul is pretty good, but I just do not think you guys should be paying 30K for an emerald card. So my verdict is Michael Jordan is not worth it. On to the next one is Vernon Maxwell, or however you say his name. We're going to go ahead and take a look at his stats here. You can see he's an 88 offensive overall, 83 defensive overall. Another card I don't think is really that worth it. We're going to take a look at a bit here. See, he's got a really nice mid-range, really decent 3. Not bad ball control. He's got really good passing. So this is someone people would run at the point guard, which was what I was about to say. But just for the price he's going for, I just don't think he's worth it. Maybe if he goes down to about 20 to 17K, he might be worth it. Reasons I don't think he's worth it: he doesn't really have badges that are gold. Bronze badges, I'm pretty sure there's the same bronze badges for all the cards in this collection, but I wish they came with gold badges. 2K really got to do that. Badges are expensive, we're all struggling, but this card is a really good two-way player, very good on defense, very good speed, very good strength, but he is only 6'4". And the thing about him is that he can't really dunk, so unless you have an athletic shorter person at the 2, you're better off running this guy off at the 1. He is a really good card, he's just not worth 30K MT, if that makes sense. I would rather pick up Byron Scott, who's going for the exact same price as this card, if that makes sense to you guys. I'm just thinking about the MT and what you're putting it into. Vernon Maxwell is a good card, he's just not worth like, I would just rather put 30K into a Ruby card than this Sapphire card. That's all I'm saying. If he does go down in price, he is definitely worth the pickup. Card plays very well from what I'm hearing from friends, so unless he goes down in price, he's not worth the pickup as of right now. Up next, we got Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, he is worth the pickup. Sure, he should go down in price, but this guy has one of the best releases in the game. Nasty mid-range, not much of a defense game. If we go compare him to someone, his defense is average, but he's got really good speed for a small forward, and small forwards with speed are always a good thing. He's actually got a driving dunk, he's got a contact dunk, both are really nice. His defense is average / above average. He's got really good shooting. He's got a 3-ball and a disgusting mid-range. He's got a no draw foul whatsoever, so drive to the basket and just hope you're going to hit it, because they're not going to be calling anything for you. But other than that, I think this card is worth it. Probably pick him up for like 40K. Wait till he goes down in price. It's day one of these cards being out. They're eventually going to go down with price. These are all hyped up all-star cards. Like, these are players that are well known, hence they're going to go up in price. People like Vernon Maxwell are not going for 50K right away. But if this guy was called something else, like John Stockton or something, he'd be going up in price because of a name. Don't look at the name, look at the stats. And with these stats, he's not bad, but he's just not worth 64K or whatever he's going for right now. Maybe if he goes down as well, he might be worth it. But for now, I'm going to give him the no. Up next, my favorite player, probably who I'm going to end up picking up, honestly, because this dude is an absolute beast. This is Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. He's going for quite the expensive coin. I would honestly pick him up for like 50K. Big centers are going for a lot. Centers we don't actually have much of this year. Unlike 2K17, where we got like 20 centers off the bat to start their year off last year, we do not have that this year, and that's why Dwight Howard's going for like 80K. Hakeem's going for like 50K. In comparison to Dwight Howard, this guy's absolutely worth the pickup. Look at his stats here. He's got decent standing layup. He's got really good post game. He's now got a nasty mid-range. They give him an average free throw. He can rebound. Sorry, we're not going to compare him to Westside, so we'll compare him to someone else who's in his rating. He's got really good defense. He's got sorry, we're going to keep going down here. His defense is all right here. He's got really good defense. He can't really contact dunk people. He doesn't have a tendency to go and posterize people. That's never been Hakeem's game. But he's got 70 speed, which is always really nice for his center. 70 acceleration, good vertical, a lot better strength. We'll compare him to his gold card right here and see the kind of stats that went up. So as you can see, it's a huge jump from his gold card. His speed went up by it went up by 40. It didn't go up for almost 40. It went up by 40. Defense went up quite a bit. He's got good rebounding now. He's got really good mid-range. It says there that his post fadeaway went down, but that's only because I have a shoe on this Hakeem Olajuwon. Otherwise, that would be the exact same, but you can see that it's an absolute beast. I definitely think that this card is worth the pickup. Now, on to the last one, and that is Larry Legend himself. Now, I'm just going to be straight up. This card isn't worth it. It's nice that they changed it. This card used to be a sapphire color, but it's nice that they changed it to a ruby. I actually kind of thought it looked nicer, the sapphire color, but do not pay 70K for this card. Again, he's going to go down in price. Is he worth it? I mean, Larry Bird has never been a great card to start off. He's got average stats. I mean, I'll give it to him that they actually give him a mid-range and a 3 to start. He's got a 3 of an 85, mid-range of an 89. They did fix his release. Remember in 2K17 last year when everyone was complaining about how slow it was and they made it faster? Well, they stuck with it going into this game, so that's always really nice. He's got really good stats, but the thing I don't like about this Larry Bird is that he's just super slow. 79 speed, 78 acceleration. It's above average compared to most cards, but it's just nothing crazy. I wouldn't pick this card up for 70K. I'd probably pick him up for like 60K. I would say that's what he's worth. If he's 60K, absolutely pick him up. The card plays super cheesy, especially with his fadeaway, which they did not give him. So I don't know if I'm going to pick him up. It depends on how badly you guys want to gameplay with him, but he's nothing too crazy. He's really good as far as on the offensive end, but on defense you can see nothing too crazy. But we're comparing him to Luol Deng. Other than that, he's pretty clamps. His speed, if you give him a speed shoe, I think that's what would make this card an absolute beast. Another thing that makes this guy a beast is that he can play the 3 and the 4 because he's 6'9", 220 pounds, 89 offensive, 87 defensive. So if he goes for about 65, 60, 65, I would say he's worth the pickup. But other than that, wait a little bit. These cards are going to go down in price. It's only day one. But anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. And for you new viewers, hit that subscribe button and join the Blasian Nation. Thanks for watching, guys.